In New York City, hundreds of people pass away every single day. Some die naturally, some are murdered, and others take their own lives. Akin to other large cities around the globe, employees of the medical examiner's office are tasked with the transporting of the deceased from the scene of the death to the city morgue where an autopsy is performed, or directly to a mortuary where the coroner has determined on scene that an autopsy is not necessary. This is the story of one of those workers. Sarah and her co-worker from the medical examiner's office attend to several call-outs per day. Sarah has struggled with remaining impartial to what she encounters at each scene, as the removal of a body can be a very grim detail. Bloody and damaged bodies are bad enough, but badly decomposing bodies are much worse. These bear a unique and unforgettable odor and can often be bloated with maggots and other insects. At the end of each day, Sarah returns to her apartment, which is far from where she has spent most of her day. However, the scenes of what she has witnessed are at the very forefront of her mind. On this day, as with any other, she enters her apartment and switches the light on. She then heats up some food and tries to erase her mind of everything she has seen while she eats. She's never too successful at this though, as her mind begins to analyze each and every death, one by one, thinking about the life the person led, their birth, their first day at school, their happy times, and sad. Try as she might to switch off, she fails. You see, Sarah's husband passed away over 12 months ago. The pain of this loss is still all too real for her, and she just hasn't been able to let it go. She showers for over an hour, letting the water run over her head and down her body, in a sense hoping that the hot water will take the sting away with it as it cascades over her and away, down the drain. Suddenly, the light goes out. Not perturbed by this at all, she just stands there, sighs loudly, and realizes that this will be as good a time as any to shut it off and head to bed. She fumbles around in the dark and manages to find a box of matches and a candle. She lights it and slowly carries it to her bedroom, going through the events of the day in her head one more time and preparing her mind for the next. She goes to bed and has a broken, restless sleep, waking several times with the images of the dead and the face of her lost loved one. The next day is more of the same, more dead bodies, some that had died naturally, some that were murdered, and some that took their own lives. Upon coming home again, Sarah goes through her usual routine. She eats, showers, and then takes herself off to bed. However, this time, as she goes to switch the light out, she senses something in her doorway. Someone or something is standing right there. She switches the light back on, and it's gone. She's frozen with fear as she's certain that she just saw a little man standing in her doorway. She stares at the doorway and calls out. Nothing. Several minutes go by. She wants to run, but to where? She would have to go out that door regardless. She can't move. She can't remember when she last took a breath. As she exhales and slowly inhales again, she notices a hand at the doorway, and then a faceless head slowly comes into view from the side. Sarah pulls up her covers closer to her face as the little man enters the room and disappears out of her view. She stares off into the darkness, and then she sees him slowly come into view, rising up at the end of her bed. She looks closely and then can make out his face. It is indeed a little man. Sarah stares back at him from behind her covers, trying to scream, but nothing comes out. And he comes closer. He sits himself down in front of her, and then he speaks. He tells her not to worry. He won't hurt her. He just wants to talk. And over the next several hours, that's just what they do. They talk. They talk about all sorts of things. Her life as a child, her marriage, her husband's death, and how much she has struggled with her work and her life since his passing. Their conversation goes on late into the night, and by the end of it, she finds herself feeling so much better. So much better, in fact, that she sleeps all the way through until the morning. For the first time in over a year. Her day at work is once again nothing out of the ordinary. And when she comes home, she feels so clear and relaxed. She heads to bed and settles in feeling so comfortable and content. Just as she's dropping off though, she feels the presence of something behind her. She wakes, turns, and stares closely at a small envelope on her bedside cabinet. The shocking realization of what is about to happen to her is overwhelming. She replays the scenes of death in her mind. She now recollects that each and every one of them had the exact same envelope in the room, each and every time. She knew she was about to join them. She had made her choice, and she regretted it horribly.